people can't understand it, they see it from different angles. Why is so many demons up in the city of angels?
All right, it's a Friday show, and we don't care. Welcome into Section 1904. We are on remote. We've picked up a third host. It's a three-man booth here on a Friday. Padres are getting set to host the Tampa Rays a little later on. Our sports weekend is just a couple of hours away. Got SDFC in action. 4:30 on Saturday. Looking forward to that out there at Snapdragon Stadium. And we have Cesar Torres hanging out with us.
I'm excited for Pants Talk.
Pants Talk?
Yeah.
Super excited about it.
The teaser was magnificent.
No, I just the people that are paid subscribers have been filtering into the Discord, including you, Cesar.
Yeah.
And at one point yesterday, I was interacting with them, and I'm not the star, so someone just said, "Where's Darren?" So I sent them the text that I got from Darren like a minute earlier that just said, "Buying pants." And I was like, this is not a joke. He's buying pants. And then he came back and he gave a review of where he bought the pants and how excited he was about the pants. And I have questions because timing-wise, these seem like pants that maybe you bought for your upcoming vacation. You're going on vacation in a few days. And
That is correct.
I needed to know, are you the type of person who is comfortable wearing new pants from the store, or do they need to be washed first? And second, follow-up question, do you trust yourself to wear never-worn pants on vacation, or do you wear them first just to make sure that they're going to be okay and they're going to handle the rigors of a day in
These
Spain?
are the hard-hitting questions I was looking forward to.
This is what we get at it, Section 1904.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that you're grabbing the steering wheel here on this Friday
Thank
and
you.
just driving it.
I'm
because
trying.
these are really, really good questions, and these are controversial topics. I've learned that these are very controversial issues that people have. I used to work with people who are appalled at the fact that I will buy clothing and I will wear them without washing them at all.
Me too. My wife hates me when I do this.
Yeah, I did not know that this was a thing probably until about, I don't know, like the last 8-9 months or so when I was working with Marty and Jonathan. And they were appalled that I would actually buy clothes from a department store, understanding that people try on pants. I understand
Sure,
that.
yeah.
But like nobody's trying on underwear. Nobody's doing it.
Right.
And they were appalled that I would actually just say, yeah, like I'm going to pack these pants completely not washed, not worn, and I'm just going to pack them, and I probably will take the tags off when I get to Spain on Wednesday of next week. That is primarily the reason why I purchased these pants.
So the first time you wear these pants will be on foreign soil.
Correct.
And they've never been washed.
That is correct.
I love this.
Now,
I love this for you.
I mean, are we all in agreement that this is the way these things should go?
I don't wash them before, but I do like to take them for a trial run to make sure.
I try them all on.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried them all on.
right.
This is not like, well, I think this is my size.
No.
So I'll just take a chance. And then when I get to Spain and it's too snug in the crotch, like
Right.
it's not going to work for me. But yeah, I did. I found myself some good deals down at Las Americas. So
You're missing out, John.
you are missing out.
what am I
Everybody's
missing out on?
Las Americas, man. It's clutch.
Just because I haven't been there in a long time and I've never actually purchased anything there except maybe alcohol.
Which is not the reason most people go to Las Americas.
I
Just
think
so we're
They
clear.
sell alcohol at the outlet mall. See, this is something I did not know either.
There's some sort of store down there that does it's like the duty-free store. Is this not the duty-free store?
I don't. There's a couple restaurants. Maybe you ended up there. You did tell us that you were maybe on a sick one.
Yeah.
But the point of the duty free is that you buy what you're buying so that you can go across duty free. It's not just
buy it and come back.
discounted, right? Yeah, I don't think they're going to let you just buy something and then drink it on the curb.
They should have been more clear about that.
I don't think Las Americas has ever come with instructions.
That's true.
should.
I hate saying that it's like just a hidden gem in San Diego, but
It is.
it is the absolute go-to for me. If anything, my wife is kind of pissed. She's like, "Oh, you went without me?" Because she had a phone number at one of the stores, and there was like a $10 off thing. Adidas is like 50% off. So I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Yep.
And I know it's like it's a total mind play where you go to outlet malls and they tell you how much money you saved, and I'm like, yeah, man, I saved like $400. You know, like because you feel like you're so far ahead of the game. But
Yeah.
that is true. When John was texting me, I was literally in the text that you posted on the Discord.
Yeah.
I was in the changing room at Express.
Wait, no, you called me literally 10 minutes before, and I was driving my daughter to her vision therapy appointment, and I was like, okay, it's going to take me 10 minutes to drop her off, and then I'll call you. So I said, I'll call you in 10. and you gave it the little thumbs up.
Right.
I called you 10 minutes later, and you didn't pick up, and you texted back buying pants. You apparently were in the chain. Did you call me from Las Americas?
I did. I called you while I was walking from Banana Republic to Express. So yes, if you are familiar with the map, if you're familiar with Las Americas, that is the route that I was on when I decided to call John, because I figured we needed a plan for when I'm in Spain for a couple of weeks. So I figured I needed a plan. I was like, hey, let's start talking about what this podcast is going to sound like when I'm 9 hours ahead. And you were doing whatever you were doing, and I was doing whatever I was doing, completely and like super important to us as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your daughter doing the thing and
Vision
me with
therapy,
pants,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, these
The
are
same level of
totally
importance.
on the same level of importance. So yeah, but I felt like it was a very successful trip, and I'm just glad to know that unlike my my previous experience going to Cotton On in the Otay Mesa Mall, where everything is super baggy, that these are not everybody has turned to the dark side of style.
We're never getting Cotton On as a sponsor of this podcast now.
It's okay. It's fine.
I do love the fact that this
So
is how,
close.
I love the fact that this is how this podcast has become, that we just talk about like random things that in our life, because yesterday I think we got a tweet, or I'm not gonna, whatever, a post on Blue Sky Skeet from someone who said Darren was absolutely right, that there needs to be more than one lane in and out of Terminal 2 at the airport. It's a serious problem. And then we got into it, the Section 1904 account. I'm not going to say who was posting from it, even though only one of us has access to it at the moment. But it got into a heated debate about whether or not, because we've already discussed jeans when you're over 40 or over 50, no more jeans.
2 pairs, by the way, just for the record. Purchase 2 pairs of jeans.
And a man over 50, so look at
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Also, flat-billed caps, we said. You can't wear them when you're over 50. And I chimed in.
Well,
Someone chimed in. Go ahead.
Hold on. That was an anonymous member of the local
That's
media
true. That's
who
true.
listened to this podcast's never-ending conversation about jeans
Yes.
for people over 50 and said, I feel the same way about flat-brimmed hats for people over 40.
Okay, so for the
Well,
table.
I'm not going to out that person yet.
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 Being the key word.
Man, that's a threat. That's black.
But everybody listening knows who this person is.
There's blackmail going on in the group chat. Okay, so for the table.
By the way, Caesar's wearing a flat-brimmed hat.
Oh,
Yep.
he's a man under 50. It's fine, I think.
No, he said 40 though.
40 though.
And I am well over 40 now. But I look fucking good, so
It's
that
a-
opinion is irrelevant.
It is a
to
great
me.
looking hat, and you look fucking good. So as we're talking about ages, I kind of, using 50 as this arbitrary line, said goatees, I think, look bad on the elderly. And anyone over the age of 50, get a beard or go clean shaven. Maybe a mustache is acceptable, but goatees, I think, are out. And I tweeted as such from the Section 1904 Blue Sky account, so now everyone's going to hate us, Darren. Everyone over 50 is unsubscribing from this podcast.
I am not. I did not author that one, so I'm gonna distance myself from it. I know it's a team effort, but I'm gonna distance.
Would you
myself
go?
from that
Would
one.
you go with a goatee at your age?
I don't even. What does that mean?
I don't know.
My age.
I don't know what's the discrepancy between.
I mean,
I don't know
the
either.
beard has the cheek coverage. The goatee
Sure.
is just around. It's just the hair around the mouth. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, like that kind of like baseball player goatee.
Yeah,
Probably not.
like the Phil Nevin goatee.
Probably right. Yeah.
I did
I
a
always
milf
felt
on it.
bad. I always felt bad for Nev because they would take these pictures for the video board during spring training, and you could tell one year they just caught Phil on the wrong day, and the goatee was completely. We've all had this issue. We've all had goatees. He's just sort of living in the space a little bit, but we've all lived in the space of having some shaving that doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. You're like,
Yeah.
this thing is totally, it's totally off center. Not straight at all. And his picture was up there all year at Petco Park, which is like the worst cut goatee of all time.
A hangover picture almost.
Yeah. And it's just, I just wondered every day. And knowing Nev like I do, he probably never gave a shit. He's probably like, what? But it just had to look at that every day of this goatee that was not
giant
done. It was
screen.
not a professional.
I love the perfectly manicured goatees on a player. Like there's a famous tweet where someone and this is since been repaired, but Klay Thompson used to have a perfectly manicured goatee.
Yeah.
And someone had a tweet that said when Klay Thompson gets home at the end of the night, he hangs his goatee up on a coat rack because it was just so perfectly manicured. Dustin Hermanson used to have a perfectly manicured goatee, and it would throw me off every time. So Nevin's never really bothered me.
Yeah, I mean, it's very on brand for Phil,
Yeah.
who doesn't seem to really care about that sort of stuff at all,
Good.
even up into this day. So, yeah, so I mean, again, I continue. I think Carlos on X, on Twitter, sent me a jeans-related comment the other day. It just is, I didn't realize that this was going to be so controversial when we brought it up the other day.
It's funny that this is a conversation because 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine chastised me because he says a good pair of jeans should only be washed once or twice a year.
Oh, gosh.
He's like, if I have jeans, I wear them, and unless I get a wicked stain on it, they just sit there. That's the way jeans are supposed to be. You're supposed to just let them, I don't know, mature.
Like it's a cast iron pan.
I don't get
it.
that's kind of the reference I made to him, and I was like, this is the first I'm hearing of it. And he's like, well, but you maybe just don't buy good jeans. I'm like, I don't know what are good jeans. I buy Levi's, I buy Wranglers. Are those okay? And he goes, oh, you should respect your jeans more. And that comment threw me off, and now I'm going to wash them every week and just to piss them off.
Yeah.
Well, I think they will. It has been suggested to me, places where I've purchased jeans, that instead of washing them, you put them in the freezer.
Really?
Yeah, I know people who do the freezer gene thing.
Yeah, and not because
Kills
you work,
bacteria.
not because you work in a biolab, just because that's a way to knock off some of the funk that you might pick up wherever it is that you are. So, yeah, I have had that literally suggested by the person who has sold me the pants, that you don't want to keep washing this because you're spending good money on it, and the washing machine and the dryer will definitely take a toll on it. So instead of doing that, maybe do that once or twice a year, put them in the freezer.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
I've never done that, but that literally was suggested by a sales
he was very adamant about the way he upheld his jeans, and I've never had somebody so passionate about that subject.
All right,
It's a great sports podcast.
yeah, it is a Friday. Speaking of sports, Cesar went to a Kings game the other night.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Playoffs, Game 2 against the Oilers. Magnificent. The energy in that building was electric. Very sports term. See that? I don't know that. I don't know that I've been to a hockey playoff game before. NHL hockey, So that was.
You've been to Gulls.
A lot of times, and it's been a few years since that team has reached the playoffs. But damn. An NHL electric atmosphere was insane. That building was rocking. It was cool to see a lot of Oilers fans there, too. Definitely way outnumbered. But, yeah, man, the Oilers have had the Kings numbers 3 years running now, and now the Kings have a commanding 2-0 lead. So it was nice to be a part of that for a good two-plus hours with Estella, and really lose my voice for a good 24 hours.
Here's the question I always ask myself when it comes to going to Staples or crypto or whatever it is.
Sure.
Is it worth the drive? Is the sporting event worth the drive to go?
No. Well,
See,
for a
that's-
playoff game, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a playoff game, maybe if you're a Kings fan.
Sure.
But that is I think the inner debate that lots of people in San Diego have. I did see Will Holder went to a Clippers game last night. I think last night.
Last night, yeah, that was the
And
game
that's
they won by
where,
like 30.
even for free tickets, I'm not sure that I would go to a Clippers playoff game against the Nuggets. I'm not so sure. But have
Got
I
a
made
problem
the
with
trip
Inglewood?
for the Knicks? Inglewood.
Yeah, that's where Intuit
Yeah, it's
Dome
right
is.
next to SoFi.
Yeah,
and-
I don't know.
I mean, look, we
Maybe
our
not.
mutual friend Bill and I, we made the trek last year for the Thursday night Thursday night football between the Vikings and the Rams, and I had a blast. I mean, we visited some breweries, hung out. So I don't know, I love it. I love checking out different venues, and I think they've done a good job of keeping crypto Staples, whatever you want to call it, very modernized, especially as Intuit opened and it's state of the art. I feel like they've done a really really good job of keeping the amenities there up to par, and I don't know, it was a blast.
You
I
were
had a wonderful
offended
time.
by our podcast earlier this week about whether the Clippers and San Diego had a thing going here, whether there was a little bit of flirting going on.
Yeah,
you
they're-
didn't even see the text he sent straight to me. They were vitriolic.
Well, it's funny because I got shit from somebody when I was at the Kings game because they're like, "What are you doing repping LA?" And I'm like, "Well, do we have a hockey team?" They're like, "Yeah, the Goals." I go, "That's a minor league team." Well, then that means you should be a Ducks fan. I said, "Absolutely not." And I told a long-winded story, which I'll shorten down here, that the reason I'm a Kings fan is because I met Luke Robitaille and he gave me autographed jersey and tickets to the Kings game, and that, my friend, I will sell out for much less, but that one in particular, easy, sign me up. I mean, I was a hockey fan growing up. Love watching, Doug Gilmour on the Maple Leafs. I love watching Felix the Cat Potvin. I was a huge Pavel Bure guy, but I never really had a team. And 20 years ago or so, I met Luke Robitaille, and he was grilling me about what my favorite team was. I said, I don't have a team, just a hockey fan. And he goes, yeah, you're a Kings fan. Bam. And he was right. Yeah, I could easily be bought.
I saw a comment on that podcast on section1904.com by I think it was by Sonny Fono. Is he the guy's the DJ for the Portland Trailblazers?
Yeah, phenomenal dude. One of the most loyal listeners I've had in 15 years.
Didn't you meet him at that bar in San Francisco that was like a Charger
Huge
and
Charger
Tottenham
bar.
bar?
I don't know if it was a Spurs bar,
you know
but
it was
definitely a Charger bar.
Because I was invited a bunch of times, and they were like, come on a Saturday, watch the Spurs. Come on a Sunday, watch the Chargers. It's a great weekend.
This would not be appealing to me at all.
Well, no, of course. And honestly, at this point, probably not for me either.
I hang out with enough losers in my life.
Thank you.
All
I'm
right.
sitting we're sitting right here.
We're right
Dave.
across from you, pal.
But he commented and said that rooting for the Clippers or any LA team is Dodger loving.
Yeah.
And I think he was implying that, like, if you're in San Diego and you don't have like an NBA team, you can pick any NBA team as long as it's not an LA team. And I hate that because I like going to see my team in person every now and then. Mm-hmm. It would be really nice, right? So that's why I'm kind of rooting for the Clippers because I'd like to go see the team. And anyway, I didn't like his stance.
I don't entirely disagree with the stance. I think it's
really?
I mean, I think that there are exceptions. You know, Luke Robitaille. Who am I to argue with Cesar that Luke Robitaille affected him in some sort of way? I don't know, but and mostly I'm just do what you do and leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone, and all that sort of stuff. But it is, like Padres and Dodgers are so passionate. And like San Diego and LA has a history.
We talked about this. They have Kawhi. They have Norm Powell. They have the San Diego Clippers.
It's giving me pause. It is giving me pause.
See, Cesar hating me for not picking the Lakers.
And even their logo is an homage to San Diego.
Right.
So I feel like they're making an effort.
For sure.
I mean, they have to because of Oceanside.
But right. I mean, it's the same thing for me. Like north of the 8 is all LA anyway. But, well, that's not true. I mean, the 8 into, like, Oceanside is probably Orange County, and then it's north of L.A. But, yeah, I mean, I understand Sonny's position. I mean, if you grew up hating Los Angeles, then I think this is the line that you draw. And I think there's a lot of people in San Diego who just hate all things Los Angeles, and I respect that.
as someone who came from New York and
as Grant sits down,
probably hates you probably hate all things like Philadelphia.
I respect the position that somebody would take, that they're just not going to, the Dodger loving thing. I'm not saying. I respect somebody's like, no, like I grew up.
I'm never going to root for an LA team.
Exactly.
That's fair.
I mean, look, our buddy Chris Garcia, when the Chargers broke the town's heart and left, he ixnayed his LA connections. Was no longer a Laker fan. Was no longer a Galaxy fan, and like literally disregarded complete city and said no more. So say what you will, if you're that passionate. I mean, he is the sports brain after all, so he takes it very serious.
I do respect it. I have no real issues with that whatsoever. So I think and it's tough for me. Like the last thing that I've ever done in my career is sit around and lectured people on how they should fan, especially me as somebody who didn't grow up here. Like that's the last thing that I'm ever going to do. I just putting myself in the shoes of somebody, I don't think I could do that. But I respect that you do. Yeah. Good for you, man. Glad you had a good time at the Kings game. Thanks for the invite.
Anytime I give people a reason to hate me, it just makes me more excited. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, does it make you feel weird when you go to a Padre game and they're doing the Beat LA chant? No inner conflict.
Baseball.
Okay.
No issue with baseball. No.
But it's not
I know where
Beat
my
the
allegiance
Dodgers,
is.
it's Beat LA.
Sure. Beat LA Dodgers.
Okay. All right.
No one's sitting there chanting beat the Kings or beat the Lakers. They don't have an NHL team here. They don't have an NBA team here. What would they care about that?
Mm-hmm. And you're a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
How'd we do in the draft?
I'm a fan of that guard.
I didn't watch it.
I would have rather taken the corner from Michigan, but Will Johnson was there for the taking. But whatever, build up a line because obviously that was a deficiency in the playoffs, and we were exposed the last 4 weeks of the season. So I'm happy. The line is rebuilt. I'm excited. It's fun to be, in Kevin O'Connell we trust.
That is true. We're both lifelong Minnesota Vikings fans.
Didn't know
nice.
that.
I don't know that you knew that
Yeah.
or not,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Skull, baby.
Yeah. We got to go to a game.
You mean Kevin O'Connor, Kevin O'Connell, who I used to work with.
Fired.
Kevin O'Connell, who used to comment on the Bolts in the Blue posts that I would write. That guy, he probably loves me. I'm probably
guy
his
who-
favorite writer.
Yeah, the guy who used to co-host shows with me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that guy.
Guy whose wedding I was at. Yeah,
That guy.
Hey,
absolutely.
thanks for the invite.
Honestly, I was a little jealous I didn't get an invite to your wedding because Marty and Jordan sauntered back in. Didn't you? You stayed a little bit longer after your wedding, right? And like Marty and Jordan came back like 2 days later, and they sauntered in. They're showing us all these pictures. They're talking about the tacos. They're up at 2 a.m. on the beautiful beaches of Puerto Vallarta, and they're like, "Oh man, it was great." It's like, yeah, would have been nice.
Actually, Marty literally left from Puerto Vallarta to Minneapolis for the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And Marty also got tossed into a swimming pool the night of the wedding with her dress on.
Jordan told me that.
And she had to pack a wet evening dress in her suitcase and
That's a
fly
good-
it
it's a
to
good-
Minneapolis, for the Super
Home of our beloved Vikings.
Bowl. Yes.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Hey, that was my first NFL game. My grandfather took me to Vikings Buccaneers back in 1990. That was my first NFL game before I even stepped foot inside of Jack Murphy. So I always had an affiliation. I was Charger season ticket holder for 11 years, but that team is dead to me.
You don't have to justify yourself here.
Well, we just had a whole subject about that.
Yeah, we did.
Actually, yeah, I guess you did. Not to me, but to Sonny Fono, for sure.
Apparently,
Yeah.
yes.
Caesar, everybody around town knows you, but if people don't, who are you?
I am somebody who's been in the beer industry for about 12 years now. I am a wonderful, loving father and generally a good person if you're in my circle. I don't want any new friends, so please don't come talk to me. There's been a cutoff unless somebody drops off, and then I'll let you guys know. No, I've been fortunate to be in this industry for 12 years. I've been connected with Mason for about 2 years now, ever since I started my own sales and marketing consultancy. Grant is a dear friend of mine, so yeah, man, it was exciting to link up with you guys and have a space for you guys to call home for your events and some of your broadcasts. But yeah, no, nobody special, just somebody that loves what I do.
Oh, you're special. You're a board member, the Emo Brown Foundation.
Yeah, they don't want me talking about that.
Okay.
Steve gave me specific instructions.
You did?
Yeah, no. Listen, we've done a lot for our community, and we've including working with the community down here. So I'm proud of what we've accomplished at our board. For the past 4 years, we actually just looked at that. We're 4 years old now, which is crazy. We still don't know what we're doing, but we're helping a lot of people out, and that's pretty wonderful.
We have been recording the podcast from Mason Aleworks here in Barrio Logan for a few weeks. Tell us the story about this place.
So this came along just because the space was open, and we had brewed beer for the previous tenants here to kind of help them along, and they were forced out, and not forced out, when you don't pay your bills, that's what happens. And so the opportunity came along for us to take over the space, and initially it was kind of keep their brand alive. Didn't work out that way. So now we have this beautiful, not only indoor but outdoor patio space. We have Tacos de Villasana here. Incredible if you haven't had a chance to try them. We have some cool amenities inside as well, including the legendary jukebox from one of my favorite places that ever exists, Small Bar. Rest in peace.
Can I stop you on that?
Yeah.
Tell the story about getting the legendary jukebox from Small Bar.
I'll tell the parts that won't get us into legal trouble. So Karen Barnett, who's a near and dear friend of mine, the night that she had to close down Small Bar for good, we had a legendary outing there, all the industry people. When Small Bar shut down, we all went to one of our favorite watering holes, Livewire.
Hey.
Livewire closed at 2 a.m., and Karen says, I know a place we can go keep drinking. And so she reopened Small Bar for...
Did you walk?
You want me to remember that?
I'm just saying, it's walkable. Live bar to Small Bar is walkable. But if you're drunk, that would probably be...
Yeah.
You got to go up a big hill.
And at the end, it ended up being just myself, Karen, our boy Luis, and his roommate Marty. And in the course of our drinking activities, Karen mentioned that she hadn't found a home yet for the jukebox. I mean, a lot of stuff had been sold to a lot of local places, and they're still alive, but the jukebox had not been claimed. I wanted it, but I had nowhere to put it at the time. And Luis says, well, let's buy it and put it at our house. And so he bought it, took it for a while. And then, Luis is a very prominent DJ here in San Diego. With all his equipment, he couldn't fit it anymore. And so I said, give me a while. I will find a home for it. And as luck would have it, it was right around the time as we were opening up the tasting room in Vista. We took it up there. Nobody really seemed to appreciate it. And then this space became available, and I told Grant, if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to go here. And yeah, that that was consistently voted one of the best jukebox in San Diego. So I mean,
Wait, they
there's
have a vote on that?
oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what? Like the
best of
Union
San
Tribune,
Diego.
best of San
Yeah,
Diego?
like
Really?
San Diego Reader, San Diego
Best
Magazine.
jukebox?
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah. So I mean, Hamilton's before it burned down by complete accident. I'm sure,
complete
right, Scott? Yeah. That.
Hey, man. We don't, our lawyers, we got to, okay. Go
No,
ahead.
they didn't come talk to me.
No, it was a complete accident. We all know
Go
that.
visit the new space now, Bach. Incredible.
German thing,
Yes,
right? Yeah, South Park?
amazing.
Yeah.
The owners of Bottlecraft are the ones that took it
I
over.
think they're doing really interesting stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
food is dynamic. The guys that run their food used to have a food truck here. They're killing it. But yeah, so there's a lot of people that have hit me up and really want that jukebox, including our friends at Machete Nacional. Maybe even some threats sent my way, but we're not parting ways with that. That thing is money, and now we found out how we can actually upgrade the empty slots in there. But that's still the original music list that was in that jukebox from its inception. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
I have a follow-up on jukeboxes
Yeah.
because I recently became aware that there's an app that people can download on their phones.
AMI and touchstones.
There's two of them.
Oh, okay.
Did we
Yeah.
not do this with you, me, and Cesar?
No.
Caesar's a sniper with these apps.
Yeah.
No. Like we were traveling with some friends and the music was unsatisfactory for where we were.
Sure.
And the friends that we were traveling with were like, well, fuck this. All of a sudden they pull their phone out and they just started playing their own music in this bar that we were at.
Sure.
And I was totally blown away that somebody could do such a thing. So how does this...
So basically,
Is this something we should or shouldn't talk about?
No, we can
No,
talk about it.
it's-
So,
it's amazing.
so there's a lot of bars and restaurants that have jukeboxes that are connected to the internet. And at one point in time, they thought, hey, this is great. We will let people basically buy plays of songs or albums or whatever through an app on their phone. You don't even have to get up. You can be sitting at a table and you can do it. Caesar is the person who showed me that you don't even have to be at the bar. You can
Right.
be anywhere.
So our friends who we were traveling with, we were up in Northern California, and they live in Ocean Beach. And when they got back to Ocean Beach, they went to their local bar and they started going, "Hey, what's going on here?" And they realized the settings were still set for Northern California.
Of course.
So they were playing a bunch of music for this bar up in Northern California.
Yeah.
Before they realized they had to adjust their settings.
No, that's-
Do you think most people? Am I in the minority here or the majority? Do
No,
most people
I only
about this?
I only know this because of Caesar.
Yeah.
And Caesar put me onto it. And now, if I'm sitting in a bar or restaurant, and Caesar is aware that I'm sitting at that bar or restaurant, I am very attuned to the music. Because at some point it'll switch to something
Yeah.
completely insane, and then I'll just text him with like, "Are you playing the music here?" And 95% of the time, I just get back like a laughing face, and 5% of the time he's like, "No, I'm not. There's someone in there with really bad taste in music." But yeah, no, you can do this. It's terrible.
And this is like a national, international
Yeah, it's
app?
a huge
Yeah.
thing.
Will
yeah.
work anywhere?
And that's where they sell you is basically, hey, let us install this jukebox for free or for a nominal fee. And the jukebox, basically, you get a small percentage of it, but the rest goes to them, and you don't have to worry about it. And people can either feed the machine money in person, or you can download the app and just play it. And yeah, I'm a menace. Drunk
you
Caesar
can
is
also
not
like
somebody you can
jump
trust
to
with
the
that.
front of the line.
Yes,
Right?
and that's what I do
Yeah.
a lot.
No,
Yeah.
Darren, I saw a thing where during this last college football season, you being a college football fan who likes this type of shit, you're going to love this. There were Tennessee Volunteer fans that realized that the Tennessee Volunteer fight song was available on this thing. So it was like, when I noticed that they were playing Ohio State, Columbus, and they found all of the bars in Columbus that had this jukebox, and they started playing the Tennessee Volunteers fight song. They would jump to the front of the line, and they would buy the fight song like 100 times in a row in these bars. So the people sitting in the bars just have to listen to it over and
Rocky
over and
Top,
over.
just Rocky Top,
Rocky
over and
Top
over and over,
over and
again.
over and
Right.
over
It's
again.
normally like 2 credits to buy a song, and then if there's not really a lot of songs on there, it's an extra credit to jump ahead. But then when people start competing for that because you see it, then it jumps up to like 5 or 6 credits.
Dynamic pricing.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah. Normally I'm okay with it. I just have a good time. But yeah, I have a couple drinks in me, and then I don't care if it's 7 credits. I will skip your song to make you uncomfortable. And yeah, it's part of being my friend. It's one of my charming factors, you know?
Yeah, well, I think every social circle has to have one of you. Yeah. At least one person there who can manipulate the jukebox.
And it's come to the point now, like John said, well, I'll have random texts where someone's like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "Is what me?" And they're like, "The song just changed." And I'm like, I'm not just sitting around all day watching where you are
You
playing
might be.
music.
Sure,
You
you're
are a
not.
menace.
Sure, you're not. How's the beer business?
Yeah, it's interesting right now. I mean, it's man, Breweries are falling left and right. We just had a couple more closures. One that we're not sure if it's going to be permanent with Northern Pine up in Oceanside. They said they were just randomly told by their landlord that they had to get out.
That's a restaurant too, right? They do like barbecue or something?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And they have a space inside of Del Mar at the One Paseo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're in that. The Deck, I think it's called, right?
Okay.
It's like 3 other tasting rooms.
I've only been to the... there's another brewery in One Paseo right next to Urban Harlan. I've only been to Harlan.
Harlan, wonderful people, man. The Crone Zone, the new beer with Jake Cronenworth.
Oh,
man.
what?
Yeah, they did a beer with Jake Cronenworth. Yeah,
What kind of beer is it?
light lager, 4.5%.
This is obvious.
The beer is actually
What, the light lager?
Yeah.
You can't get it right now. It's on the disabled list, but normally they have it.
I was worried he was going to say Mexican lager, and I was going to really throw things off.
No,
man,
that's Tirso Ornelas.
There's a few more places that
Jake Cronenworth has a beer,
Yeah.
and like this is not. He's got to be in collaboration.
Yeah.
The story that was put out on San Diego Beer News by our dear friend Brandon Hernandez is that Cronenworth attended an event where they were serving Harlan beer. He liked it. He had his people reach out to Harlan and say, "Can we make a beer together?" And
Wow.
the Crone Zone was born.
So Musgrove has his connections.
They
He
closed.
does not.
That,
Resident is
that
one of the
brewery
people that is
closed.
closed. Yeah, it's no more.
Wow, my bad.
I hated that beer, so it's okay. Like I don't mind it that much.
Never even tried it, but hey,
I
good
didn't
for
Double
him.
IPA.
I didn't care for
Not
it.
for me.
Yeah.
You know my palate.
High octane is not your. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably more Tirso Ornelas
Yeah.
style than I am Jake Cronenworth than I am the
Trying to get
double
him on
whatever
board.
thing. Yeah. That's cool. Like that's good for him, man.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. I mean, cool can design. Harlan is good people, man. I like them, but yeah, no, it's been a tough time for the industry. I mean, I think people are still feeling the effects of, I don't necessarily want to say COVID because I don't think COVID is really the fault. I think some people made interesting choices to take out loans they had no plans to pay for. And I think, the Piper's calling, and it's tough to see. And business overall, it's tough. It's really tough to pin down. You can have really great weeks where things are amazing, and then all of a sudden, your next week you're a ghost town. So I think it's consistent all around. I have accounts that are still doing amazing, as far as I'm concerned, because of the amount of the beer that they order from me. And then I talk to the owner, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just making it. We're scraping by. We need these big nights to offset the nights where 5 people show up." So it's an interesting time right now, and we really haven't been affected yet by the tariffs and the new regulations coming on board. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see a few more breweries close in the coming months, just because no one could prepare for rising costs, again, overbearing loans that you weren't really in a position to take, and this is the changing dynamic. People are leaning towards different stuff. NA is such a huge market right now. It's incredible how much NA beer is being sold and distributed. And
Can we explain what NA is?
non-alcoholic.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people jumping off that train. The cocktail game is making such a strong comeback, and there's a lot of the younger crowd that is fluctuating towards that. I mean, kombuchas and ciders. It's just craft beer had its mega boom, and it's going to come back around at one point because it just is. There's too many beer lovers out there, but right now there's just enough inconsistencies with everything happening that it's created a really weird dynamic, and survival of the fittest kind of right now. And you just kind of got to find your lane, do what you do right, stick to it, and kind of hope people show up. And again, it's a matter of consistency. Some days are really, really amazing and you feel great about what you're doing. Then other weeks you question why you even got into this thing. So
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
yeah.
Actually, I want to jump in on that because one of the things I love about Cesar, who I consider to be one of my closest friends,
Yeah, absolutely.
is that I do. It's is that Cesar can sit here and he can do his business, right? You buying, you selling beer. You can talk about people going up, people going down, but like there's a soul to this, and Cesar understands the soul of it. And I don't think I'm letting any cat out of the bag. You've talked about this on Instagram. Like you've struggled with addiction in the past, right? So
A
this
million
is
percent, yeah.
this is a thing that I remember a couple years ago, like being on the phone with you and you saying like, am I contributing positively to the world by providing people with alcohol?
Sure.
Or am I just delivering poison to people? And should I get out of this and do something else?
Yeah.
And I kind of, I think I helped talk you a little bit back from the ledge of that. But like the fact that you even think about the people who drink the beer and why do they drink the beer and how do we make sure that we're not, giving people a path to go towards their darkest demons.
Sure.
But instead provide them with a path to go towards light and happiness and joy and sociability. That's why I love you, because it's not just make beer, sell beer, move on. It's how do we make sure that this thing is kept good, right? And I think some of the people who are going out of business are people who very much were like, I'm going to make beer, and even if it's good beer, I'm going to make beer, it's going to be good beer, people are going to buy it, I'm going to make money, end of story. And they don't think about the people drinking it and what it does to them. And I'm not gonna disparage anyone, but there's one brewery in particular that you and I have been joking about that went out of business recently that we're just like, they didn't care about the people who drank their beer. They were assholes. They just cared about making the beer and making money. And like those, I'm not going to say it's good to see those people go out of business. It's not. It's bad to see people failing in this industry.
Yeah.
As a craft beer lover, like I want more competition. I want higher quality of beer and all that stuff. But the fact that you even think about that, I feel like is a thing that you don't bring up enough, that I want to bring up for you so that people don't just think that you're out here just like counting money.
No, I mean, and it's tough because when you work behind the scenes, I've been so lucky. I've been everywhere in the beer industry as a bartender. I've been in the brew house. I've been, out at events and, ultimately ended up in my sales role. And so I've seen what it takes. People don't think about this building to manufacture, and not this one in particular, but when it was that way, you're paying for your hops, you're paying for your grains, you're paying for the water, you're paying for the water treatment if your water's not at the right level and you have to have a RO system. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a passion that not everybody's built for this. It's a fucking science. Like, to make good beer is one thing. To make great beer is another. If I can have that beer in a can at a random liquor store and then go to a restaurant and have it and it tastes the same way it does at your brewery or tasting room, that's exceptional. That's few and far in between. But there's some people that take that shit so seriously, and you watch what they pour into it, that you just have to admire that. And you have to admire the fact that they understand that a lot of people's lives are in the palm of their hands, the way that they pay their employees, the way that they, construct their business, because people like pour their life into this thing to make it what it is. And so, yeah, it's tough to see people falter at that. But, apart from the science, it's a passion. You have to want to do this. You have to really know that, shit, you go into it knowing it's not a money-making business. It's a tough, tough place to make money. For every one successful brewery, there's 25 around them that are just struggling week to week to keep the fucking lights on. And I don't think people understand, like, every time a brewery closes down, you get the same reaction. Oh, my God, that was my favorite place to go. I love them so much. And that last week is just an influx of business, and people are like, well, fuck, where was this for the past 6 months? Where was this for the past year?
Yeah.
And then you have people like Grant who come in and help these people to stay open, and they're like, oh, well, there's just a guy throwing money at it. Well, make up your fucking mind. Or you want your place to go away or not? Like, I don't know, man. You can't make everybody happy, and this industry is going to, it's full of opinions, and we all know the popular saying. I'll just say it, people are assholes. They find reasons to complain about everything, and I'm just fat. I'm very fortunate that I found a way to keep this, passion and love for this going for a dozen years. And, I turned it into my own business and my own lane. And, I'm stoked. I work with really wonderful people from here. I have clients as far as, Santa Cruz and Berkeley. And it's dope watching everybody's ideas and how they run their business and how they reach their demographics and how they care about their products differently. So I don't know. I'm lucky. I love this. It's frustrating at times, but I wouldn't have met half the people in my life without this. So how can I not be grateful and, totally stoked that this is an industry that brought people so close to me and created lifelong friendships.
See, so you're one of these guys that's connected a lot of people in the industry, right? In the ecosystem.
Sure.
Right? Because you have a lot of experience with a lot of different people that are in this space. And maybe I'm completely off base on this, but I used to feel like the craft beer community of San Diego really pulled for one another. Like once upon a time, everybody was in this together, and all ships rise in a high tide. Where are we today with this?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, part of the selling point of the beer industry was the camaraderie that everybody looked out. Like, oh, you don't have the...
We're the Napa Valley of craft beer.
Sure, yeah.
People
You
should
don't...
come here, and it's a $1 billion tourism industry.
You still see it now. You know, there's guys that'll tell you, like, hey, I'm pitching a fresh yeast, you know, so in order to propagate your own yeast, it's a very expensive thing, or you have to buy it. But if somebody's, you know, able to provide that from another brewery and they reach out and they tell you, hey, I got to keep this yeast active, I'm not going to brew this beer, who needs it, so that you don't have to go buy your own and keep it going. Like, there's still some of that, but to the level that it used to be, it's certainly not there. I mean, people still try to sell that pipe dream like, oh, it's all one love, unity, and it's not. I mean, look, the dynamic really changed when Ballast Point sold for $1 billion, and everybody thought that they were the next fucking thing.
Yeah,
that was an anomaly. That was never going to happen. It was
really?
ridiculous.
Even the breweries are like, that'll never be us. We would never do that. I'm like, bro,
Dumb.
$1 billion? You shitting
It's
me?
the
Come on
American
now.
dream. You're a small business. You start this. I love and respect the hell out of Yusef and Jack and Earl. Like, and look what they've done. And they did it again with Cutwater.
Yep.
And like, how those people are brilliant. If you're not giving them credit, then I'm sorry. I don't want to be a part of your business. No offense, but yeah, no. Look, it still exists, man. I still am very fortunate that I have beautiful friends in this industry that provide me those outlets, you know, guys that I can hit up and say, hey, I don't have a relationship with so-and-so, can you connect me? I mean, when I took this last trip with my daughter up to Berkeley, I went to go visit my buddy at Fieldwork, and we made a stop by Ghost Town, and I happened to post about it, and a good friend of mine that, you know, we've connected through the beer industry, but we never see each other, reached out and said, dude, I know the owners, they are looking for somebody in San Diego, you should go talk to them. And it's like shit like that where I'm reminded constantly, like, yeah, man, that still exists, but the competitive nature changed so much after the Ballast Point thing that everybody was just gunning for their own common interest, which is what you have to do in business. But I think a lot of that, you know, unification really kind of went out the window, and it was very superficial and surface level. And, you know, look, I'll say it, like when I was let go from my last job and I decided to start my own business, half the people I knew disappeared from my contacts because all they gave a shit about was that I was their connection to really good beer. So, you know, I love it now because I'm successful, and now when they reach out, I tell them to fuck right off, and I say it in all capital letters. But yeah, no, I mean, there's still a beauty to this. I still have lifelong friends, and there's still people that go out of their way affectionately to make sure that your business survives and help promote you and steer people your way. I mean, that's one of the strong points of going into a tasting room when someone says, oh, dude, you know what you'd really enjoy? Go here. You guys should go visit Three Punks. You guys should go visit Seek. You know, people are going to promote who they love, and that's super helpful. So it exists, but a lot of that was shattered in the new age of craft beer, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And that was the turning point.
I think so. You know, listen, to a degree, it didn't always exist the way that people marketed it, but it was a good way to sell the craft beer dream. But yeah, I definitely shifted after that because everybody was trying to be the next big thing.
I actually remember shortly after, maybe like a year after that sale happened, when Cutwater was already like up and they were kind of successful, you and I were eating lumpia on the pier.
Fathom.
At
Fathom Bistro.
At Fathom.
Good old Dennis.
And one of the owners that I think sold Ballast Point drove by in a custom Ballast Point boat. And like, and Cesar literally looked at that moment. He looked at that and he was like, "Craft beer paid for that man's boat, and everyone else thinks they're gonna get a boat, and no one else is getting a fucking boat." You saw it. You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny to think about it in hindsight. People are like, I can't believe that they would sell out. You'd be like, are you fucking stupid?
It's
$1
$1
billion, man.
But again, like that.
I will say it right now for the record, if anybody wants to put that kind of money for this podcast, man, you never hear from me again.
One
please.
less zero, even.
Right,
Yeah. I mean, again, isn't that the American dream? You start your own business, you bust your ass, you work it up, you sell it off, you retire. I mean, but again, that's the illusion that craft beer created, that it was like, no, this is us, and we're all for us, and we're not letting outsiders in. And it's like, guys, we all go home and drink Modelo's. Let's not fucking kid ourselves that we're all about fucking us. No, I love the selection. I have a craft beer in my house. When friends come over, they're like, yo, dude, you got everything. I'm like, yeah, drink what you want. Don't touch my fucking Modelo. I had to pay for that out of pocket. You cannot have that. Take the field work. Take everything. Do not touch my Modelos. I paid for those. So, yeah, no, it was an illusion that we sold, and I don't know, unnecessary to a degree, but yeah.
All right, we're at like 45. I feel like we're just going to abandon the sports stuff for the day.
You don't want to talk about SDFC? They're playing at home tomorrow.
Go SDFC.
All right, we're done. We tackled it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I
We've said
think
it
we've
all,
said a
Darren.
lot.
Yeah.
4 o'clock pregame and 4:30 kick, and I think Real Salt Lake is a team that can be beaten, and being back at home where they've scored 6 goals in their last
Are you on
two.
the
I
mic?
think. Pre-half post.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
high of 64, a little bit cloudy, so
Yeah.
people aren't going to die out there.
Yeah.
Cesar, here's the one thing I do want to ask though before we wrap.
Where can I get good coffee? I wish I knew, Darren.
Yeah, where can one get good coffee around here?
Oh, Will Holder's here holding up the Poor Vita cup, so definitely go to Poor Vita.
Another guy who just went up to Los Angeles to go, Dodger loving.
Dodger loving.
So I'm going to Spain next week.
Yes, sir.
And I, me, my never-ending pursuit of being bilingual.
Yeah.
I need a little lesson. I need a little help here. Like, what are the main things that will you think less of me? Let me ask the question this way: will you think less of me?
Because you're mingling with the conquistadors and not real Spanish people?
Will you think less of me when I
Sorry.
come home speaking the Spanish style of Spanish? Because I've already been warned by my neighbors who are Peruvian and Colombian and Mexican. Hey, you better leave that Spanish shit, that Castilian shit over there. Don't come back like gracias, vale, vale, vale. Barcelona, Zaragoza. Don't come back saying that shit. Just stay there if you're going to do it. Will you think less of me in 2 weeks if I come home?
Not at all, 'cause
Doing
it's
the stuff instead of,
It's a second language. Anything's going to help to build your knowledge, and practice is perfect, man. No, I love it, dude. I think, look, it's definitely a way, way different style. I mean, I remember when I tried to take Spanish in high school, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is not real Spanish. Who talks
Wait, why
like
were you
this?
taking Spanish in high school?
Because it was going to be easy. I thought. I was an honor roll kid,
Easy,
man.
yeah.
I needed something easy.
what did you get in that class?
I mean, I aced it. Come on.
of
At one point in my life, I was smart. Yeah. I don't know what happened, man.
So,
There is a,
so you spoke 3 languages.
There is a food. I'm Irish, right? So there is a particular type of food that is associated with Irish people.
Okay.
En Espanol, what is that? You make French fries out of it.
Las papas?
Papas.
Patatas?
No, papas.
Papas, we call them
Not
papas.
patatas? I was told that if I come back saying patatas, that I will get beat up on these streets.
Well, if you say patatas, you're gonna get putazos. They're not wrong. Yeah, there's a fine line you got to walk there. Yeah, I've never heard it referred that again. Like the way that they speak Spanish is completely different.
How could the Spanish be wrong at Spanish?
It's not necessarily that it's wrong. It's different. I had a wonderful conversation when we were in Emeryville, and Natasha and I were shopping, and I didn't feel like driving because I just drove for 9 hours. And the woman that was driving was a Colombian woman, and I said hi, and she recognized me as a Spanish-speaking individual, and for the next 20 minutes, she did not stop talking.
Okay.
But she was amazing, but just even the little differences and the nuances and the way we referred to things, it just blew my mind. Every single time I have a conversation from another country, I'm like, oh, man, we're so alike in the way that we speak it, but there's just so many little fun nuances that we say differently.
When I told my neighbors that I was doing like Duolingo or whatever, they're like, well, which dialect? And I said, well, Spanish, of course, from
Yeah.
Spain. They're like, no.
You could choose
That is
Mexico.
totally wrong. Yeah, Colombian, Argentine, like that is way off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they were they were worried about me. They were like, I don't think you're going to fit in with your little bike crew. If you show up one day speaking that Castilian style of Spanish, like it's just not going to work for
But
you.
that's how long are you there for? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, man, this is a lifetime that you have down here. That Spanish is going to resonate way more.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. You
You'll
have
get
any
rid of
sports?
that really quickly.
All right. You have no advice for me then? Just,
Wait,
just
you
let it rip.
said there's an off chance you might have to get a haircut when you're there. Do you know how to ask for a haircut?
I do not. Pelo
Culo?
abajo.
Fuck, I haven't asked in years. I just push a button and all of a sudden I show up at Otterstop and he's ready to go. I can't remember the last time I actually asked somebody to cut my hair.
Yeah, I got a
Thanks,
lot of
Carlos,
things.
for making it so simple. Oliver, too.
We have a long list of things that we have to do before we're out of here. So
Haircut's
yeah.
one of them.
Haircut. Got the jeans, so I'm all good on that front as well.
All
I
right.
got some Padres this weekend. So we got Padres. We got Wave playing away. We have SDFC at home. So pretty packed sports weekend.
Yeah, and I sent you an article this morning. The Rays are apparently
NBA all over the place. Will Holder, season ticket holder with the LA Clippers.
I know, right?
He went from one game to a season ticket holder.
Season
That's
ticket holder,
incredible.
lifelong
I can
Clippers
see.
fan.
You can tell the twinkle in Will's eyes.
I know. It's
He goes all in on stuff.
I got it too. That's Clippers. Clippers are fun. You can't be all in on the Kings anymore. The Kings and the Mavericks died. They're never coming back. I'm interested on Monday because we'll podcast on Monday, right?
Yeah.
You do. When do you leave? Monday night? Tuesday morning? Tuesday morning?
Yeah.
Okay. So Monday
Tuesday morning, Wednesday arrive in Barcelona, Champions League Wednesday night.
Monday we'll recap a little bit, but at some point I want to talk about the Rays trying to move from the west coast of Florida to the east coast of Florida because that's interesting to me. But even more interesting to me is
To
whether
the East Coast?
well Orlando's central-ish, right? Central east.
How is Hassan Kim still hurt?
I don't know.
Did his shoulder fall off completely?
Yeah, he's coming back to play against the Padres. They said.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He'll get a nice ovation. Will he get a Profar-esque type ovation? Definitely, right?
I would think so. He was so beloved. Some of those loudest
Do you think
chants
they'll
for the
do
Hassan Kim.
The Hassan Kim chants were great, so maybe he gets a Hassan Kim
The
chant.
catcher will definitely stand up and give him a moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite videos still is from the playoff run when there was a building like 3 blocks down. He's recording from his patio, and all you can hear is the Hassan Kim chants. And I'm like, how cool is that? Like, what a fan favorite he quickly became.
Yeah, I kind of miss that guy.
Same.
But yeah, I'm more interested in whether or not they can beat the Padres this weekend. I hope not. I hope the Padres win. But it's just interesting times for the Rays right now.
I feel like, we've got a fan base that is getting a little bit of April anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, dropped two series in a row.
We got a lot of injured guys.
Oh man, lost 2 matches, MLS games in a row. A couple of wins this weekend. I think everybody's in a great mood on Monday. That'll be their therapy.
I think you're right. Actually, I was talking to my therapist before we started recording this, and at one point, I told him, I was like,
Lifelong subscriber, right?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And we only had a few minutes left, and I was like, we don't have enough time to get into anything. I was like, how are you doing? And he goes, actually, let's turn the tables here. You could be my therapist. He goes, what's going on with the Padres? Because they're losing again. I was like, oh, God, I got to be a therapist to my therapist about the Padres. And I was like, they're hurt, and it's April, man. Calm down.
Yeah, says the guy who literally had a post on 1904.com,
That said,
section
calm
1904.com,
down.
that said the Padres no longer have the best record in baseball.
Can't believe you would remind me of that.
Sounding the alarm.
I mean, they didn't. I was factually correct.
It is factually
Proven
correct. as well.
correct again.
And Kyle Hart.
Gone.
See you in a month.
Toast.
Mr. Burger's coming up, and
see you in a month.
respectfully,
Do you think he's going down to El Paso to pitch, or you think he's just going to go throw bullpens?
He's going to pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Korea to El Paso, Texas.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
natural transition.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And one seems just like the other.
That stuff's going to get crushed in the Texas League or whatever league they have, the PCL.
I don't know. Do results really matter for him? Probably not.
Probably not.
But it makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, I had nothing in my notes that we got to today.
Cool.
But this was definitely a much better conversation. Cesar, we appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Thank you for all the advice.
Yeah. It's the only way you're going to survive.
Patatas.
No.
I don't know what you just called me, but I'm upset.
Sound like a power. Things come in many forms. Cry now, get your blessings in a